Hey everyone, Debbie here from emotionallysensitive.com, and I am at the airport right now, and I thought this would be a good time to do a quick live stream or vlog or what have you about the issue of coping when you're having a separation from someone you love, because this can be such an issue for people who suffer from BPD traits or emotional sensitivity. And it's certainly something that I struggled with quite a bit for many years, to where it was pretty much intolerable and completely derailed me. And now I am sad. I've been crying, so if I look definitely have emotions. The circumstances under which I was seeing a loved one off and won't see that person for a while now are really sad, because that loved one lost a parent, and that parent was someone that I knew and was close to as well. So the circumstances are really sad, and definitely there are a lot of emotions that go along with it. And then with this recent thing that happened, just not like within the last 24 hours with the Egyptian airline plane, and to be dropping someone off to go on an international flight is not exactly fun stuff right now. So what skills am I using? Well, first of all, I'll show you around at the airport a little bit here. A lot of people right now. I don't know if you guys can see some of the planes here that are getting ready to take off, with people going and doing all kinds of things under all kinds of circumstances, and probably a lot of loved ones too, seeing loved ones off. And so what skills am I using? Definitely having to use some radical acceptance. So radical acceptance is when you totally, fully embrace reality as it is. And I noticed initially I was not doing that. So when I was sitting down and having lunch with my loved one that I was seeing off, I was saying things like, I don't want you to go, I don't want this to be happening, I don't like this. So I definitely caught myself in some willfulness, some not wanting to accept reality, and thinking that if I just kept saying those things, he wouldn't get on the plane, and that's not going to be the case. This is very different though than from maybe a few years ago, when I would have been like saying, throwing a complete tantrum in the airport, crying, going into hysterics, getting myself sick, ending up in the emergency room. That kind of stuff would happen before, because it was so, I didn't have the ability to manage my emotions, and I didn't have the ability to I didn't have the skills to call upon to take care of myself. So that kind of stuff would happen. So lots of progress. So if you struggle with these kind of things, the main thing I want you to get from this right now is that there's hope. So if you do throw tantrums, if you do go into hysterics, if you do get yourself to the point of feeling sick when someone you love has to go away or is traveling, or that you just have to be separated with them for a certain amount of time. That was my story so badly that it was a constant source of self-sabotage in my life, like over and over and over again. So if I could get to a place where I'm using skills, and thank you for the thumbs up, I saw the little thumb go across the screen, whoever did that, thank you. If I could get to that point, then you can too. Anybody can do this. Anyone who wants to fully commit themselves to learning these skills and applying them and using them, especially in the tough moments, in these real moments right now. When I'm looking out here at these airplanes and thinking about, the fact that I was just having lunch with someone that I loved, and that they're going to be gone for a while, very far away. I have no control over these circumstances as much as I want to control them. So radical acceptance is definitely one of the things that I'm doing. Another thing I'm doing is distraction. So I made sure I loaded up my car, and you guys can ask questions or interact with me. This is live actually, so if you type a comment, I can actually respond to you. And I feel kind of funny because there are a lot of people coming and going here, and some of them are just kind of looking at me like, what is she doing? And like listening to what I'm talking about, and probably thinking, okay, lady, talking about this stuff in public. But I don't care, because I'm doing this for you guys. So, okay, so I loaded up my car with things to do right after this. So I'm not going to go directly home and cry my eyes out and wallow in self-pity and wallow in the sadness, right? I've loaded my car up with stuff to go donate at the thrift store. I've been like doing spring cleaning and really cleaning out my closets and office space and different rooms in the house, and just getting ready to, I threw a bunch of stuff out and I'm taking a bunch of stuff to the thrift store. So it's actually 2 skills. One skill in DBT is called contributing, which is when you do something for someone else and kind of gets you out of your own pain and your own mind and what you're struggling with at a given moment to help somebody else. And so that's one thing. But it's also a distraction because I'm not heading straight home. I'm not just gonna go and sit by myself and feel bad for myself. I'm gonna go and do something. So connection. It's the airport Wi-Fi. Yeah, so the distraction of having that activity of going to go take care of that errand, going to the dry cleaner. Nothing super exciting. Sorry about that. You probably hear the baby screaming. It's the airport. So, and I might go to Starbucks and pick up something as well. Self-soothe a little bit through taste, something not too freakishly unhealthy. They have I don't know if they have this in your area where you guys are, but they have the mini frappuccinos now. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Hang on 1 second because the baby's coming. It's all kinds of people here. Parent is dealing with that right now. I think the baby wants to get out of the stroller. So, yes, so that's another skill right there, is is using the contributing and also the distracting, self-soothing through taste. Also, probably going to call another friend just to chit chat. I'm not really in the mood to hang out with anybody else today in person, but yeah, so that's basically what's going on, sitting here at the airport. If I were to be making this type of video, let's say couple of years, well, it would be several years ago now, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, this would be very different. This would be a concerning video. This would be me falling apart, having a very difficult time controlling myself, controlling my emotions, probably would be causing a scene, probably would be drawing a lot of attention, a lot of dramatic elements to it. And I'm not saying that with shame, and I'm not saying that to to shame anyone who may respond that way and be reacting that way, and who would react that way today if you were in the situation I'm in today at all. I have so much compassion for my former self because I was doing the best I could with what I knew. I didn't have the skills. I didn't know how to call upon those things. I just wanted to feel better, and I was scared. And I know that that's what a lot of you guys are dealing with right now too. And this is not easy stuff. It's not easy stuff. So, hi Tassier. Tassier says, much respect for being so honest and brave. Thank you so much. Thank you. And he says, sending you lots of good wishes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Because we're both grieving the loss of one of his parents, and it's really hard. It's really hard, and it's hard that I can't be there as well. So just dealing with a bunch of things. So you usually see me very cheerful. I'm a very cheerful person, very happy naturally. That's my disposition. Thank goodness. It's probably one of the things that has helped me be so resilient through borderline personality disorder, through past trauma, through all the things that I've gone through in my life. Like everyone else has been through a million things, right? And yet real life happens, and yet we talk about the skills in these videos or in my classes, and we talk about them in real world applications, and then real life actually happens. And that's when the challenge comes to actually apply the skills. That's when the challenge comes to use them so that we're not suffering. These are the moments, you know? These are the situations. So if you guys have any thoughts on this, if you struggle with your emotions getting really dysregulated when you have a separation from your loved one, For some people, it can be as severe as, and it was for me, like if you live with someone, it could be your spouse, it could be your partner, it could be any family member or something, and when they go to work, it's really hard. I keep losing my connection here at the airport. Like for some people, Sunday nights get really anxiety provoking for them because they know the next day that their loved one is going to work, and maybe you're not working right now, so it's really hard, that adjustment of being with them and hanging out all weekend, and then the whole structure and routine changes and they go to work and you're, you know, you don't have them there with you. For some, it's when people travel. It can be so many things. So I'm really curious if you guys have anything, any questions about that or any thoughts about that. Hi, Dana. Dana says, I recently went through a similar experience, sending lots of good thoughts your way, and thanks for talking about self-compassion. It helps. You're welcome. Hang on, there's like a group of kids, a family. This is so loud. Like lots, you know, people coming and going. Just so you can see what I'm seeing and know why it's so noisy here. Show you the airplanes again. I'm at San Francisco International Airport, which is SFO, and a lot going on. They had sniffing dogs for the people that were going in through security because of, I assume, because of what happened yesterday with Egypt Air. So, Dana, thank you so much for your kind comment, and sorry about the lighting and everything. It's like I don't really have much control over, oh, it could go like this. Yeah, I'm doing well. This is me doing well with this. It's not that when we use DBT and we manage our emotions that we're not going to have emotions, or that we're not going to have intense emotions, or that we're not going to feel and be human beings and have normal human experiences. And a lot of times we're still going to feel things even more intensely than other people, even if we have the skills. The difference is being effective, you know, making choices that are skillful so that we don't increase our suffering beyond what it needs to be. So we avoid unnecessary suffering, and we take care of ourselves with compassion and love, and we honor the emotions that are coming up, and we let them run their course, right? And if they start to become too intense, or if they're not effective for the situation or appropriate for the situation, or it doesn't make sense to dwell in them because it's just continuing the suffering, we can intervene with skills so that we can reduce that suffering. That's why after this, I'm going to the dry cleaner, I'm going to drop off the clothes and stuff at the thrift store, I'm going to pick up something at Starbucks. I'm not just going to sit and talk about this and think about it and cry about it, you know, all the rest of the day. I saw something funny on, I think it was Toby Mac's Facebook page. It was like a graphic with a quote, and it said something like, was it really a bad day, or was it a bad 5 minutes that you milked for a whole day? And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to minimize like what's going on here today or what anyone else is going through, but this is more than a 5 minutes. This is grief. This is a lot of stuff. This is sadness of being separated from someone I really care about at a very difficult time for them, especially, and I want to be there for them, and I have to be here in the United States at this time. So that's really hard. So it's not like 5 minutes, but at the same time, do I need to get myself sick over it and really stress about it and obsess about it and ruminate about it and fight it and say, I wish this wasn't happening the rest of today even, or, you know, yes, I'm going to honor my feelings when they come up, but I'm not going to dwell in it. Okay. Hi, Romina. Romina, I miss you. Romina says, hi, I didn't catch the beginning, but I'm sorry you're having a rough time. I work from home and my husband works in an office. It is hard to be at home by myself. I can completely relate. Thanks, Romina. I don't want you to worry. I'm not having a super rough time. I just thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about real world, real life DBT application and talk about some of the progress that I've made with being able to handle being at this very same airport, doing essentially this very same thing, except there wasn't a loss, of someone passing away. And just the changes over the years of being able to manage that, to encourage other people who might be where I was a few years ago, to say, oh my gosh, if she could do it. Hopefully you're having some courage and encouragement that the same is true for you. Romina misses me too, she says in the comments. Awesome. Alright guys, any other questions or comments on this topic? Is this something you would want to talk more about before I wrap up here? And look, it's gotten really quiet all of a sudden. Yeah, just as I'm wrapping up now, there's like nothing going on. There's like hardly any people here. Hi Candy! Hi Candy! Candy says you do encourage and you are an inspiration, Debbie. Thank you so much, Candy. I appreciate that. I love it that you were on. Yes, what day was it? The other day and today, right? You caught me live both times. Waiting to see if there's any other questions or comments before I finish the live stream. Oh, now I'm in the dark. Hi, Karen. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope, as Candy says, this was an inspiration for you. And as always, this will go to a replay on my Facebook stream. So you can comment even after this live stream is over. Oh, I love the little hearts. Thank you. You can comment even after this live stream is over, and I'll be able to see it and respond to you. And also, if you want to make sure you get notified every time I'm doing a live stream, I think there's some way you can hover over this video either now or after it's done recording, and there's like a little button maybe in the upper right. I don't know exactly how it works, but there's some type of subscribe button, and then what will happen is every time I live stream, you'll get an alert on your phone that says Debbie of DBT Path is now live streaming, so you don't miss it. So thanks for spending some time with me today at the San Francisco International Airport and hearing some inspiration about managing our emotions and coping more effectively when we have a separation from a loved one, and hearing lots of loud people and screaming babies. Bye for now, guys. Thank you so much. Huge hugs.